Hey guys, it's Doki. This idea just popped into my head like literally 3 minutes ago, so I figured why not throw something together real quick to share my thoughts and opinions. 2020 was a rough year in general, but it was a really good year for games. We had so many good titles come out this year, and while I didn't play anywhere near all of them, here are my top 3 along with some honorable mentions. I didn't play a lot of new games this year, so my list is a little short, but without further ado, let's jump right in. At the number 3 spot, we have Persona 5 Royal. I'm actually still playing through this because I got it just recently, but so far I've been pretty blown away with all the new changes to this enhanced edition of one of my favorite PlayStation exclusives. As did the original Persona 5, it just has an elegant style to it that helps you feel like a true Phantom Thief. The social aspects are back in full force as well, which is always a nice change of pace when you've been grinding shadows for an hour. Taking up our number 2 slot, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I'm a big fan of Animal Crossing. I grew up playing it, but even I know that the big reason this game saw as much success as it did were the circumstances of the world when it released. It was the height of the pandemic, and Animal Crossing gave people an escape from all the troubling news in the world and put them in a soft, colorful world with cheery characters and no real objective. Just have fun. Now, for the gameplay side of things, there are many improvements to this game that make it tons better than its predecessors, such as finally letting us make actual pathways, tons of clothing and decoration options, and even more characters to recruit to be our neighbors. Just an all-around good time and very deserving of the number 2 spot. Now, before I get to my number 1 spot, I just want to list off some honorable mentions. These are games that either came out this year or had a big impact this year. Genshin Impact is a free-to-play open-world game that really introduced a lot of new players to the concept of a gacha game. Now, for those of you who don't know what gacha is, it's a system that lets people spend in-game currency, or for the more extreme fan, real cash, to roll for the chance to get an anime girl or boy to use in battle. Think loot boxes, except for weebs. The game receives frequent updates with new characters, mini-events, and even new areas to explore. The only complaint I have with this game is how grindy it can get, but that's to be expected from a free-to-play game. Sword Art Online Alicization Licorice. Now, those of you who know me personally know that SAO is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I know it's awful, but I still enjoy it somehow. I blame it on nostalgia. The same goes for the games. Alicization Licorice launched with some horrible frame rate issues and bugs, and honestly was not worth the money spent. But over time, the devs fixed all the issues and even add new content on a semi-frequent basis. For that, this game gets an honorable mention. Among Us was the underdog that took 2020 by storm. Made by an indie developer in 2018, it was hardly known and joined the millions of other forgotten Steam games, until 2020 brought this game back to life, with everybody and their mom making a video about it or streaming it on Twitch. All in all, this is a super fun party game, and if you get a group of friends together to play it, you'll have a good time, guaranteed. And finally, the number 1 spot goes to the Final Fantasy VII Remake. This game is absolutely stunning in both the visual and mechanical departments. Final Fantasy VII is often brought up in conversation when discussing the best game of all time, and this remake does it justice. I was a bit wary when I heard that they had changed the combat from turn-based to real-time, but this game translates it beautifully, and even slows down time when you're choosing an item or spell to still give it that Final Fantasy feel. Another thing I like about this game is that the world feels alive. You can stand next to a couple of NPCs and hear them have a whole conversation. You can accept side quests from them, and the things you hear in passing change depending on how long you've been in an area. It's truly something special. So, my best game of 2020 has to go to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Comment down below what your favorite games were for 2020. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.